Sports listeners, I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
This is a whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes.
Woo!
And all those people and businesses that support those teen athletes.
Ow.
How happy are we today?
Good morning, Erica.
Look at, I guess we're fair. Look at, she just grabbed, I'm sorry. She just ripped it out of your hands, Dr. D. Did you see that?
Okay.
That was just like a snatch.
Our room is full. I was
know.
spreading the mics
She's
around.
So exciting. Oh, wow. I'm sorry, Dr. D. That
No.
Is it all right?
We're good.
Right.
We're
Look
good.
at it. Look. I like that one. Okay. Alexandria, she passes it to Ava Burford. That was so nice. She's like, she just felt so bad that you just got your mic ripped away. She looked at Ava. Here, Ava, let me show you a sign of love. San Marcos High School is just going to gift Santa Barbara High School a microphone. I think that was just so lovely. As she grabs one away from Pal. Jessica, give me your mic. I love this. It's just sharing is caring in Santa Barbara. I love Teen Sports Radio.
Sharing is caring.
That's right. We love it. We love Santa Barbara.
I'm an only child. I have to learn how to share something.
Oh, what's going on? All right, since you started off, what's going on? Dominique, you finished
What's
making
going
paper?
on? Yes, that was wonderful. We made paper at PAL.
Yes.
And it was very exciting. The kids got a chance to put some flowers and some leaves into their paper making. And then we put it up against the glass of the mirror for it to dry. And we'll find out how long it took to dry. I'm guessing it might have taken 2 days to dry. But I also went home and made some extra paper so that we could give that to PAL as well.
Yes,
So.
everybody got it.
Yeah, absolutely. But the fun thing is just to think about everything that we're interacting with in our life, we can turn it into art. So whether you're using colored pens and making doodles and stuff on your homework, or whether you recycle your mail and create paper, there's so many different ways that we can be creative every day.
I really appreciated this whole spring and Easter and everything after everything Santa Barbara's gone through for everybody. You know what I mean? I've done a lot of...
Spring is renew.
Yeah, it was definitely a renew, and had a lot of appointments over the holidays, especially with the tax planning. And it's amazing how many people, that especially the ones that were displaced, and how they were all sharing. You know, and a lot of them realized that they were actually admitting, you know, that they were getting that. What was that? What you were calling it?
Dr. D, is it PSD? Where you have that stress from
PTSD?
PTSD. Thank you.
Yeah.
PTSD from having to
You were displaced a couple of times, you know,
having to be displaced.
Well,
Yeah,
same
so
thing with Alexandria. You had to move out a couple of times, right? No.
I had to move out.
Ava
once.
was. You moved
Ava
out,
was
right?
really moved
like
out.
every week.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, like it was stressful.
Right.
But now that like there's less rain and stuff, we can stay at home longer, which is really nice.
Right.
And the hills are greening.
Yeah,
Isn't that nice?
We went to we drove recently to San Francisco, and we drove all the way back like through San Marcos Pass, and I've never seen the hills so emerald before. It was really beautiful.
Right.
I tell you what, I live up there, and I see it every day, and it is just fabulous, that green. It's just gorgeous. Reminds me of the rolling hills of Ireland, which is where, with the exception of here, I would rather be.
Yeah.
Oh, man, just gorgeous on the hill. So, and take comfort, those who live below the slide area of Montecito, when the grasses start to grow, that's going to help. It's not going to be a cure-all, but it's going to be a sign that things are going to hold together a little bit better every day, a little bit more every time the rains come, and it looks like we got another one, a little storm coming, nothing huge. It's going to go a long way.
I just think that I think everybody you could see them in their eyes. I think walking down Santa Barbara State Street and everything. I feel we went the other day. We were walking around. I see that there's a connection right with people. Well, people are like hi. You know, I just feel more of a welcoming. I think people are now connected. No, you feel that?
Yeah,
Dominique?
and I think the kids will also acknowledge that on the campuses and so forth, when something traumatic happens, it sort of pulls everyone together. You feel more grateful. You're actually looking in the eyes of people around you because you just have this natural, innate desire to connect.
Right. I agree. And I have to thank people over at PAL as well. We got Jessica in the house, co-host. Woo! Jessica, and it was for organizations like that. And we have a lot of organizations in Santa Barbara. We welcome them all. We have a lot of representation on Teen Sport Radio with all of the co-hosts. Many of them. We
so appreciate in the community.
Yeah, we love
everybody
you guys.
that's working with the
and
kids.
You work so hard, and thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you guys for putting us out there as well. We are very small, but we do get out there.
Well, those kids that were there, I tell you, they were having a great time, and all of your efforts, and they definitely love you guys. The respect. It was like a Catholic school. I was like, wow, it was awesome.
I felt like everyone was sovereign. Everyone was okay in themselves, and so everybody just naturally got along really well, and there wasn't a whole lot of chaos because everyone was just having a good time.
Yeah, it was really good. So thank you for all of your. Well, how'd you get started with PAL over there when you first? How old were you when you first jumped in there?
I was 14 when I started with PAL, and
little rambunctious, I hear. I'm just saying rumors. I'm not saying maybe it's not
definitely
true.
No, definitely
a
true.
little bit outside the box.
I've come a long way with PAL. They were helping me through high school. It was my way out as opposed to being out causing trouble. I was able to get myself together. I did the Explorer post, and now I help run it. We're about to send off a bunch of kids over to the Valencia area to go compete.
Nice. Very nice. I got to say, the need is huge. I mean, the support that the community, you have to stop and think, where would the kids be?
Yeah, it takes a village.
I mean, it totally takes a village. I mean, all the clubs that we have, the PAL program, the Girls Inc.
And we have a guest
place
here
for everybody. I mean, PAL might not be the right fit for everybody, but then we have the Girls Inc. or we have the United Boys and Girls Club, or
and we have
so many
YMCA.
Well, we're going to talk about the YMCA. All right, but we're going to get through a couple of other here. We got Alexandria's in the house. Why am I there?
Thanks.
Where's the clap?
Thanks, Erica. Thanks.
I
appreciate that.
I rolled it out for
I
you.
do. Yeah.
Especially since you just handed over the.
I know. Look at Ava. Look at Ava handed it
crossing
back.
her arms. I know. She was sitting on her hands. No, she wasn't. I'm just teasing.
Well, you never know.
Just kidding. Just love that. I'm feeling it. So, talk to me. What's going on?
What's going on?
I don't know.
A lot of stuff
you want to talk about.
Oh, okay. So, everything's been going really great. We just got back from a trip.
Nice. I love it.
And it was really fun and exciting. We went to Australia.
Oh.
And, it was it was the first time that I've ever been there. And
what part of Australia?
We went to Sydney for a few days, and we went to Cairns, which is a few hours up. There was 2 cyclones going through at the same time through Cairns, so it was like 4 inches of rainfall in 2 hours, I think.
Wow.
So it was intense. And there's this waterfall that we went over through a gondola, and they said that normally it's just really small and there's only a little bit of water dripping down. It was a huge waterfall, and then we were going over it, and it was massive. It looked like Niagara Falls. So anyway, it was the biggest it was the biggest it had been in 20 years, I think. So it was really amazing, though, to be there then. And it was very existential, I guess, in a sense. We went snorkeling and stuff, and that's always it was
people. What was part of the trip?
I don't know.
Traveler, so to be very blessed. So
I know, very. So I don't know. It was. I think everyone there is so friendly, and you feel really safe all the time when you're walking around, and it's just so beautiful.
Interesting. They do not have a whole lot of guns, right?
No, they don't. They don't.
Countries,
and we definitely, as a token Americans there, got some comments about that. But anyway, it was really gorgeous, though, and they have so much wildlife and everything that they are trying to preserve right now. So it was a really great trip, and everything's been great, and, looking forward to what's upcoming and graduating. It's been a good time to just reconnect with people and stuff. So, yeah. that's where I'm at right now.
And I'm trying to remember, you're in the MAD Academy?
I'm in the Entrepreneurship Academy, right, at San Marcos.
Do they have any spring programs going on?
Yeah, so we take business development right now, and we're working on our business. I'm in a group, and we're working on a parking business, and then we have a lot of different showcases that are coming up in the next few weeks. So that'll be really exciting, and I'll keep everybody posted, but if you're interested in applying to the Academy, that's a really great way, and getting some exposure to what we do. And the juniors on a trip right now to the Nike headquarters, and they're at LinkedIn too in San Francisco, so they take some really fun trips.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so there's really great things that the Academy is definitely working on, and just good period of change, but holding on to that similar continuity right now.
Nice.
So I'll pass it over to Ava.
Yeah, Ava, talk about some mad action.
Oh, wow. Wow. It's great that you asked me, because I have a guest today. Her name is Sarah Jacobs, and she's really a gem. She's on the tennis team, and she's also in the MAD Academy. Nice. MAD's been really good. Everyone, it's just great. How are you liking MAD right now, Sarah?
I really love MAD. It's a great program, and this year especially, we've gotten a lot closer as a class. There's about 90 of us in the junior class, and through everything that's happened, we've really come together, and we're working on some cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's huge to have 90 students all working together, and just the junior class.
Yeah.
It's pretty big, but we're... after 3 years, we've really bonded really well.
Yeah. It doesn't really seem like a normal school class anymore. It's kind of like the second family. But it's great. It's a great program. Really great educators and material that I don't know where else I'd learn besides college. Now we're working on video editing, and that's really cool because I've never really thought about video editing. I'm kind of thinking of that as maybe a career, maybe not. So it's nice to get some exposure for that.
Sweet. Hey, let's take a little break. All right, we got a big show today. And we got some more new commercials. And you know how I love our commercials, because we got to put a hand out to Dr. D right now, because this is how we do our commercials. When you're listening to these commercials, just understand that these commercials are gifted, all right, because we love our community and we want to support those that support the kids and the athletes. So we donate these commercials. So understand that these are the people in the community that are loving our kids. So we're trying to love them back, all right? So this is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
Okay, Sarah Jacobs in the house. All right, now, Sarah.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is. Okay. All right, so Santa Barbara High School, MAD Academy, also tennis player.
Yes, that's me.
That's it. She's got it all going on. So, tennis and Santa Barbara High, is that the reason why you picked Santa Barbara High? Because is it still that you have to? Is it a geographic thing, or you could go to any school you want? How is it set up now? I always forget.
Well, right now you can go to any school, but
if you play tennis, you go to Santa Barbara, right? Pretty much.
Well, it's kind of changed a little bit in the past couple years, but I went to Santa Barbara High because I live
right next
blocks away, but
okay, gotcha.
Either way, I would have wanted to go to Santa Barbara.
Because Bishop needs a good tennis player. I'm just saying, Bishop right now. What? Why is everybody laughing? Well,
I just want to give a shout out to San Marcos and give them some love.
Are they doing good tennis now?
Yeah,
Are
with
they?
Yuka Pereira, they're doing pretty well.
Really?
So, yeah.
Well, listen,
they own Sushi Terry.
Well, yeah, they're doing good. I know.
Yeah, the San Marcos tennis team is a really amazing team, but I think what Santa Barbara High has going for it, it's really the team bonding. I think as a team, we are definitely the closest. I mean, last year we had a team of 12 players, and I could consider any of those 12 players one of my best friends. I mean, they're so sweet and loving, and we just bond so well. And I think that's really what makes Santa Barbara High's tennis team so special.
Right.
That's really interesting because generally speaking, tennis is pretty individualized. And so to have a real team commitment is a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, and I think that's the individualized teams kind of has made us a little closer because we change up the lineup almost every game until we find something that works. And since we're so close, we can play any doubles partner together and it will work well because we know each other and we trust each other. And there's also no jealousy over who gets to play singles or what position you're in because we know each other so well and we know our games well and we know that our coaches will create a lineup for the team we're playing that plays to all of our strengths. And it's a really great team dynamic.
That's really awesome. Sometimes, unfortunately, we'll hear about someone's experience with the sport and the coach doesn't quite get it, that there's a whole mindset to how players need to play. So that's
plus
so
you
exciting.
can see how the coaching staff rolls in and rolls out, rolls in and rolls out. So their coaching staff at in any school, when you see the coach has been there for like any length of time, and you could see that there's such consistency at San Marcos and in Santa Barbara High, which is their coaching staffs
that
are incredible.
Helps.
Yeah, at
and
both
it
schools.
helps to have a really
Incredible.
good experience.
Yeah,
And I think, too, with everything that's been going on, I just know I wasn't on volleyball these past 2 years, but I know that even like mock trial and stuff, we just had felt like making each other a really safe community. But I know that Santa Barbara was hit so much harder by everything that had happened this year. So I can just imagine that you guys really grew closer because of that.
Yeah, a lot of our team was affected by the mudslides, and personally, I had one of the girls on my team staying at my house for a couple days while she didn't have somewhere to be, and the one of our tennis coaches is actually housing one of the foreign exchange students on our tennis team, and he was definitely looking after her a lot during that time, and having a really solid support base of players has really helped the students recover from that.
So if a young student was considering going out for tennis, what would you tell them about why they should pick that as their sport?
There's definitely a lot of reasons to pick tennis. I think for Santa Barbara High, it's definitely the team. I mean, I've spoke a lot about how our team is really bonded together, and that's really great. But also, tennis is a lifelong sport. With a lot of sports, it's so wearing on your body that you just can't do it forever. But I know people that are in their 80s playing tennis every weekend with their friends, and I think that's a really great draw for tennis because you can just play it forever.
That's true.
So, with being in the Matt Academy and also taking like 3 AP classes, how do you manage like practices, sleep, homework, eating, I don't know, all of it?
It's definitely a challenge during the first part of season because our season starts the week that school starts. So we kind of just get a load of stuff in that beginning, and we kind of have to jump back into season mode where we'll do a lot of homework in the mornings and after school, or at least I do, or I'll do homework as much as I can during school. And then I always make sure I get as much sleep as possible because I know I cannot function without sleep, and no matter what I'm doing, playing tennis, doing homework, paying attention in class, it's really going to depend on my sleep. So I prioritize sleeping, but I also would probably prioritize my schoolwork a little bit more than tennis, just because I know my game and I know that I might not actually play as well if I'm nervous about school, so I can take care of school first before I worry about tennis.
That's really great. That's really great.
Nice.
I'm really curious. All of you students, are you using your phone or your computer to organize your studies, or are you doing it on paper? Just curious.
For me, it depends a little bit on what I'm organizing. Right now, I just started studying for AP tests, and on Monday, I took an hour, and I took all the whiteboard pens in my room and wrote out a schedule on my mirror, actually. So every morning when I look at it, I know what I have to do that day, but otherwise I'm not that organized.
Love it. Boo, put your hands together. Yeah. We've got a couple of minutes, but I want to give Jessica a chance. You brought in a couple of kids from PAL, so get on up here. You want to guys crawl in over here? Yeah, there you go. All right, you guys can stand. You guys are, when you're young, you could stand. There you go. All right, who'd you bring in here, Jessica?
So today I brought Stephen Gonzales and
Hey,
Viviana
Stephen.
Lopez.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right. Who's going to go first? Ladies, okay. Isn't that nice?
Why don't you guys just tell us about how old you are and when you got involved in PAL?
You always say your name first.
So I'm Viviana Lopez. I got involved with PAL actually last year, and I'm 17 years old.
Nice.
At San Marcos.
Oh yeah, and I go to San Marcos.
Nice.
Fun. I got involved with PAL because I have never been a very great school student. I've never been a great student, just in general, like my whole life. And I just kind of needed support. I had a friend, actually, my mom's friend. She kind of recommended me to go to PAL for a few years, but I was just like, never like, I was just like, no thanks. So I got involved with PAL, and they helped me with tutoring and stuff. So got me back on my feet, and I'm doing a lot better.
I'm Steven Gonzales. I'm 13 years old, and I go to Notre Dame School. I got involved with PAL, I think, in 6th grade, so 2 years ago. I got involved with it because I used to go to public school. I was kind of a troublemaker, so my mom wanted to try to help me become a better student and have good grades, and well, yeah.
That's great. Yeah. So you brought them here today. Why did you kind of bring them, or what have they brought to the program?
They, to me, have grown a lot, and as they both mentioned, they both had a history that is a connection that I'm able to make with them, specifically most of the other kids as well. Viviana has caught my attention in the sense that she is one of our YLC members, so she is looked up to by many of our other teens. She is in a leadership role and has currently helped out with a bunch of events with the kids, the younger kids.
Awesome.
Has bonded.
Woo! I like that.
Thanks. Steven has been joining a lot of sports in school. He's communicating a lot more with family members, with us as staff members. He's also doing our musicology sessions over at PAL. They do get half hour of music lessons. It's a one-on-one with a music instructor. We've been able to switch around the schedules a bit to adjust to him. He does get there super early and is one of our very first kids getting there. So the first place he goes is music, and we're able to give him that hour.
So I'm dying to ask you, do you feel like you have been given a lot of leadership opportunities? And if not, or even if so, how do you think that now having this kind of responsibility has changed you, or how do you feel about this?
Being put in a kind of a committee in which I have to be a leader, it's made me more responsible. I wouldn't say I was irresponsible, but I wasn't on top of myself the way I needed to be. And I never really realized how much younger children look up to the bigger kids. So it kind of woke me up a little bit, okay, I gotta step it up, because I do have a lot of cousins, and I have a lot of, I have nephews and nieces, and I don't want them to be looking at me like, oh, she doesn't try in school. So it's responsible. I became more responsible, a lot more responsible, not only out in my community, but also academically at school.
And do you feel like it's also a confidence builder, I guess, too, because you feel like you are more motivated to keep going?
No, yeah, it definitely keeps you occupied.
Okay, cool. And then I want to ask you, too, about, you said, you're playing more music and different things like that. What instrument are you playing?
I'm playing the drums.
Oh, and had you always wanted to get involved in that, or was that, I don't know, how did you get involved in the, how did you become so enthusiastic about being involved in the musicology sessions?
Well, first I used to see a lot of people go in there. I didn't really know what it was until one day they asked me, do you want to try it out? And I said, sure. And one of the first thing they asked me, the instructor asked me, what instrument would you like to play? And I said I would like to play the drums, because I've always messed around with drums and stuff like that. And so then I started playing the drums. It was pretty fun.
It's really special that the PAL program is making music available, because as a kid, to have a desire for an instrument but not want to say anything to anyone because some, my parents can't afford to rent it or whatever, so you never pursue it. But the fact that you're getting to pursue that, that is so fantastic. Yeah. What high school are you contemplating going to that might allow you to use your drumming? Because we live close to San Marcos, and I have to say, their drumming is phenomenal.
Yeah. I was depending either on Santa Barbara High or San Marcos. I'm still kind of debating right now.
Ava and I are good. Giving each other looks.
So with drumming, there are 30-minute sessions to practice drumming, like a week or like twice a week. And then how do you fit that in with everything else, like with your PAL schedule or what happens in PAL with leadership opportunities?
So since I go to Notre Dame, I leave around 2, so I get there pretty early, have enough time to practice. Then after that, I have enough time to do like the other things I need to do.
Nice.
And yeah.
Cool. Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, let's take a little break on that. All right. I'm really just watching you talk about it is you're filling up the room, and it's really happening. Look at him, he's smiling. I love this. Let's take a little break. Very inspiring, definitely. Let's take a little break. It's Erica Salda, the Queen and Tina. We'll be back with more of these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
I just got goosebumps. I want to hear him like the snare. Whatever. That's horrible sounding.
You're really good at making a beat, Erica.
No, I can't. I was going to do the beatbox now. I'm going to do the beatbox. Whatever. Stop it.
You worked that.
Stop it now. Okay, so go spin your spinner. Everybody got spinners. Everyone's staring at their spinners.
One of these
I know. I haven't either. I know.
Like,
Dominique threw it in front of my face, and I go, "Get me 1,000. Buy 1,000 of these." Guess who's in the house now? Who's in the house now? Will's in the house. He's been here before.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so excited. Will, everyone was saying, who's Will? Will, who are you?
I'm Will. I'm Will Vazquez. I'm from the Santa Barbara Family YMCA.
Woo!
I'm excited to be here.
YMCA!
Yeah, go to the
YMCA's. God, what do they do for Santa Barbara? They do everything. Everybody loves the YMCA. It's the best meal ticket for a family. I mean, bang for the buck. It's the best family ticket ever. And you have great scholarships too.
Right. We don't turn anyone away.
Nope.
Regardless of race, religion, and economic status.
Nope. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the fidget spinner.
Here, I'm going to give you a bag.
I'm fidgeting now.
I know. I'm going to give you a bag. Well, I have to give you the next bag because this bag goes to PAL.
Okay.
But I have bags. Don't I have bags?
Yes.
I got bags of these things. I love these things. So tell me how you got involved with the program because you've been there for a while.
Well, I got involved with the YMCA because I'm really into fitness. I like working out every day. And they share the same vision as me, and I decided why not be a part of this and do something for my community. Yeah. Because I am from Santa Barbara. I'm actually a Don, so.
Oh! Once a Don, always
Once
a
a
Don.
Don, always a Don.
I know, I've heard that slogan. I heard that. I've heard that slogan.
2 versus 3.
I know, don't you feel outnumbered?
Okay, 2 versus 4, whatever.
It's okay. Go Westmont.
Go Westmont.
There you go. That's all right. Okay, so so after you graduated from that SB school, that's a big school. It's the first school. It's a good school to belong to. Then what happened?
Then I got into Santa Barbara City College.
Nice.
And I'm studying right now for my associate's degree in early childhood education.
Beautiful.
So maybe one day I can become the preschool director of the YMCA.
Oh, that's nice. What a nice vision.
Yeah.
You have a vision board? You got to have that vision board.
In my mind, yeah.
Yeah? I got to put it on paper. Do I have a vision board, Dee?
Yep.
Every year I make myself, and it's so funny, out with the magazines, and you're going to laugh, right? With the scissor. You would think that I don't do that. I do.
Note, we did that for entrepreneurship one time, and it was a very fun activity. And it's interesting to present it. We actually did it again this year. Anyway, it's a good
It works. I'm telling you. I did it like, how do I not? The only thing I didn't get the one little thing. I didn't get the bicep, but that's okay. It was close.
Very close.
All right.
But the fun thing is, they say you shoot for the moon and you end up in the stars.
Exactly.
So the whole point is you create a matrix so that you get somewhere close to where you're visioning yourself to be. It's really fun.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. Because you've been out here a few times, and I'm just going to ask you, how many, don't you think he's like perfect co-host material? Are those in favor? Because we have enough co-hosts for a foreman, all right? We've got Ava here, we've got enough teens here. All those in favor that makes Will a co-host, say aye. Aye! Yay! I want you to be our co-host. You like co-host material. You're with the nonprofit. You have a vision. You have a dream. You're really good with kids. Besides, we need more freebies, right?
Right.
Oh, good. See? Don't
I
you
accept.
like that? We generate freebies. We just share. You like that idea?
Love that idea.
We love that idea. Here.
YMCA is all about giving.
Here. Give him some more spinners. Give him some more spinners. That's what we do. We share. We like that, right? You want more? Give us some more. Yeah, we got.
I'm gonna ask the front desk today for a fidget spinner.
Oh, we love you.
Don't worry, I'll ask
so
you.
tell us. So, do you have any programs that you're working on? Anything that we can help you?
Yeah, so actually we have an outreach center called the Haley Street Youth and Family Center.
Okay.
It's right there, located right by the high school and the junior high in Santa Barbara. And we're getting ready to launch our first basketball street ball tournament there. 2v2.
Whoa.
Should be a blast.
Love basketball.
DJ, referees, everything.
So give us, and we'll put it up on our website.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll definitely send you the info.
Seriously, and we'll blow it up to all the ADs in all the high schools.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you.
seriously. So it's 2-on-2, you said?
2-on-2 because it's the court is half court.
Serious?
Yeah.
All right. And then, so what's the entry fee?
The entry fee would be $20 per team, and you don't have to be a member.
Okay, what's the age?
The age is targeted more for junior high kids.
Nice. 7th, 8th.
7th and 8th grade, yeah.
You might see me there.
Whoa! That's talking it up now. Pounds domination. I'm seeing it right now. Like we have the whole police force out there. That's right. We're talking it up now. Oh, they always say no. I say yeah.
Yeah, so all you ballers out there, just know summertime, 2v2 basketball.
I like it. 7th and 8th all day. Let's take a break. It's Erica Salda, the Queen of Tea. We'll be back with a lot more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
You know what time it is now? Story time. It is story time. Okay, on 3. Story time. We'll try it again.
You didn't count on 3 though.
1, 2, 3. Story time. Well, you know what that means, Dominique?
A quick little story from Dominique.
Okay.
Yay.
I hope you have one.
I do. This is kind of fun. Okay. I have a good friend of mine that we share kind of like life coaching stories and so forth, and she passed this one on to me. And it's a true story. There's a gentleman who's very, very famous for teaching people how to meditate. And I'm also a meditation teacher. And a man came to him from India, and he said, my problem with sitting and meditating is that I live in an apartment that's over top of a garage, and they're constantly working on cars. If you've ever been close to an auto shop, you hear the drill taking the bolts out, and you just hear all that constant banging and noise and everything of working on a car shop. And so the meditation teacher, he asked all of his students, well, what advice would you give this gentleman who's trying to meditate in an apartment over a garage shop? And everybody had all these very spiritual ideas of, you learn patience and you learn focus and, all these great attributes that you learn trying to meditate in all that noise. You want to know what the teacher suggested to the man?
Move.
This cracked me up.
Move.
That's exactly what he said.
Well, I'm a deep thinker.
So the point of this, there's another story similar where someone was asking the Dalai Lama about a suggestion about how do you go through life, because life has bumps and grinds and can be kind of difficult. And the Dalai Lama said, put on shoes. So the idea about this move, put on shoes, adjust, adapt. If you're in a situation where you feel like you're pushing the ball uphill, maybe you should relax and shift what's going on for you. Move, change friends, change where your study space is, consider a different sport. Just be aware that you don't have to keep fighting with a situation that's not working. if it's not working for you, let that change happen and be adaptable and accept that things have to shift and change. So
yeah, I learned a long time ago, when that door slams in front of me, I just do an about face. I don't spend any time at all. I look for the window.
Exactly.
I swear to God, I look for the window.
I think too what you were saying about how you said like shoot for the moon and you end up in the stars kind of thing, like I really feel like that's been happening a lot too. Just, and there's a lot of college stuff going on and whatever, and yet there's so many different great opportunities that you can take advantage of, and I just feel like that's really clear, is that if there's ever a door that's closed on you, then that's how I found the Entrepreneurship Academy. That's how I found a lot of different things in my life. So I think people need to be more interested in being adaptable.
Yeah, I really like that story too, because I want to say mainly last year there was like people in my life that I kept like pushing to be friends with and like pushing to have this like amazing relationship with. And then one night I was really thinking, and I was like, why do I keep pushing if it's not going to get better and just get worse? And I feel like I then shifted my path and pushed the ball down the mountain, and everything got easier, and then life started to get more positive, and just like I've just been like enjoying it so much with like all the people like that I love around me. So I really enjoyed that story. That was really great and a really positive message. So thank you so much.
I relate to that in like many different ways as well. As mentioned before, I am a licensed esthetician. I loved what I was doing, but then I felt like I could be doing more with what I really wanted to do, and then I found PAL. After PAL, now I see doing the exact same changes within these kids. So that is very, very true.
And just to piggyback off that, you can always just shoot for the moon. You land among the stars even if you miss. So it's great.
Stephen, what do you think?
I think you should always continue no matter what. Like, it's like kind of like, I don't know, just like getting, let's say life is like a box of chocolates. There's chocolates that you might not like, and there's chocolates you might. But whatever you get thrown at, you should just use it to make it in a positive way.
I love that. Viviana, what about you? Give me something really deep.
Well, I hung out with very, very bad people. Like my freshman year, your freshman year, you're learning, kind of building yourself, trying to get used to high school. By sophomore year, I think I should have really been okay, well, now I'm going to start focusing more. Messed up my sophomore year horribly, hung out with the wrong people, made very bad decisions. So I think it's great that I was in denial of wanting to have change because I was so close to these people, but these people weren't taking me anywhere where I was going to succeed. So when I finally kind of let change kind of take over when I joined PAL, when I joined YLC, I now live a very healthy life. But I'm a teenager. We're all gonna mess up. We can all agree that we're gonna trip and fall at times. But now I have that support, because before I was just dogged on. So now that I have that support, it's like, okay, change is good. And it's not there to hurt you, but to kind of, like you said, shoot you up to the moon, and if you don't, you land amongst the stars.
Yeah. So I have a checklist for myself before I go to sleep at night, and one of the things I check off is I am expecting benevolent change.
Yeah, I guess if you expect it, it's so much easier too for you to overcome it. And like everybody's been saying, sometimes there's things about our life too that we have to really adjust if we see that we have a central goal, and normally that's like being happy or just feeling like you were successful or something like that. If we see something is coming in the way of that and we're not contributing to the overall piece, and that we see that we have to make a change somehow so we can really overcome those difficulties.
Yeah.
Bam.
And Erica, it's so tempting to get all the information from your parents, your teachers, from all these people around you, but really the deep knowing comes from inside.
Mm-hmm.
So when people tell you something that's really wise, you get a sensation inside of you like you're remembering it because you really know inside what it is you need. And when it registers true to you to make a shift and a change, it will feel inside like, oh yeah, I know that.
I always try to do the whole gratitude checklist. I mean, sometimes you pray before you go to bed. However you do the connection with your inner self, however you roll, it's all good, how you ever map the world. But at the end of the day, I try to be really thankful, but I do it in writing. You could do it inside, but I always write a list of everything that happened that day that I'm very thankful for. And that's really helped me put in context because of everything that's happened in Santa Barbara. So I write it down, and it's actually helped me stay connected. So anyway, Santa Barbara, be grateful, be kind, be thankful. I know. I know. We're going into break, but I just wanted to say that. Okay. We never even connected with you, Dr. D.
That's okay.
I know, but I want to know what you think, or what are you thankful for?
Oh, what am I thankful for?
Yeah. We need to get back to you.
Not having my house burned to the ground last summer, for one. I suppose for being alive, for one. It's like having gone through the last 12 years living here, it's been a challenge. And I would say for the most part, I enjoy the cool weather. I love the months that we have the marine layer and all this stuff. I've had a chance to walk the streets up and down State Street and down to the wharf when it's been nice and cool. There's been a light breeze coming off of the ocean and all those wonderful things. Whereas back in December and January, couldn't really enjoy too much of that because of everything else that was going on. It was hard to get into that. And that was something I was sharing in the break room, in the green room, that we need to stop and just sit and take in the moment. And in my case, it was to stop and take in, for example, just the fact that we've got that. I call it a beautiful marine layer. And a lot of people don't like it, but I love it, and it's cool, and there's the moisture in there and that light breeze, and just listening to, if I get far enough away from the traffic, the wildlife, if you will, the birds and so forth, and just taking in that moment, because we're talking about how fast time is going by.
Right.
Can't believe it's already mid-April.
Yep.
Of 2018.
Right.
So I'm grateful for those opportunities to stop and be still and just listen and just be in that moment of enjoying, because December's weather was beautiful. If it weren't for the fire, we would have been able to enjoy it. But because of that, what cool weather? I don't remember anything in December other than smoke.
Yeah.
So now able to take that in, and so I'm grateful for that.
Well, we're all grateful to you. Let's take a little break. This is Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. We'll be back with a lot more after these messages. We are back, and this is the Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica Salda, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
All right, so we got the last segment. We only have like 4 minutes. Okay, and nobody wants to talk about it. Nah? Real fast. Mm-hmm. We'll do the Earth Day, and then we'll talk about the earthquake. That goes together.
You're going to laugh. Is it 420, 422?
422.
422. Okay, Earth Day. Usually it's up at SPCC
and then day. All right, it goes first. All right, go ahead.
And then also in the parks of Santa Barbara. It's phenomenal. Put it on your calendar to come participate, because there's so much you can learn about recycling, about how to energy save, about how what we do every day impacts our Earth. And if we can go about our day thinking about how we can be kind and recycle, we'll just enjoy our life more, as well as have a healthier planet. Yeah. So Earth Day is really great. Are you guys doing anything special in schools?
Earth Day this year, I think, is really applicable for being a junior with taking AP Environmental Science. And I have a community service club group with one of my friends at school, so I think we're going to try to get some of our people to volunteer at one of the parks to help out with the events and other things going on.
Awesome. Second thing, do you want to talk about the... No? Okay.
Well, we could talk about it. Is anybody here prepared for we had that little shaker
last week?
Last week that was in the
5.0 Channel Islands.
Wasn't that fun?
Talk about Earth
5.3.
5.3 earthquake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a bag prepared or nothing? No?
We really should. I guess what was bad is we live in a house, and we live kind of on Mission Canyon, so we're like really in the hill. And yes, I live in a house. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, but we used to have a lot of really bad earthquakes. I don't know. I just remember a lot more when I was younger, and we would always kind of go under the door frame. But I've heard that you're not supposed to do that either anymore. I don't know. They're always changing stuff. So please enlighten me on what I should do.
Run.
Just does YMCA have earthquake preparedness?
Yeah, we have a drill for it. It's usually stand under the doorway of a door. Yeah. Other than that, that's about it.
Well, I think what's happening with earthquakes is that they're realizing telling people to go someplace, they're getting hurt as they go someplace. So finding something to be under where you are is a good thing. But honestly, I think the door jam is a really good idea, having built houses. So we'll have to look at, maybe you could research it and get back to us next time you're on.
And remain calm. Remain calm, too, while the earthquake's happening, because we did have a couple members freak out and just start having panic attacks and stuff, and it just makes the situation worse. So just remain calm and hope for the best.
Yeah. You heard it from Will, our new co-host. Put your hands together. I love that. He was calm even saying remain calm. I love that.
They call it situational awareness.
That's it. All right, Santa Barbara, you heard it here. Stay calm. Be kind. See you next week.